Greetings and welcome everyone to the world of NieR Reincarnation, and today from now on with this video I will try to explain the characters of NieR Reincarnation, give you a quick summary of all of their base stories, and because we have more than 25 characters to complete, let's just already start into the world of NieR Reincarnation. Rion was a kind-hearted prince. He was physically ill, but he loved his people. Sadly, his father was a demonic monarchy king, and he was abusing and doing all kind of bad things to his people. Abusing them, looting them, robbing all the villagers, destroying all the properties and everything. Even capturing people to do experiments and make his own army and do all kind of bad stuff. Rion tried to help his people by confronting his father and telling him what he's doing is wrong and he should stop. Sadly, that was a bad move for himself, as his father showed his wrath and not only imprisoned him but didn't even care about his physical illness. In the prison, Rion met Dimos, an android, a mechanical human who became his friend. Dimos cared about the boy. He treated his wounds during his illness and helped him escape the prison also. As you can say, both of them ended each other's loneliness. With Dimos, Rion once again confronted his father, trying to stop him, but then he found the truth that Dimos is nothing but just a slave of his own father, and his father ordered Dimos to kill Rion. But for the first time, even being a mechanical human with no free will, he decided not to kill Rion. He saved the boy from the king and both of them escaped the country. They both became runaways and started wandering different lands of different people. But sadly, Rion's health was getting worse and due to that, he one day died. And Dimos was left alone with just protecting the grave and dignity of his prince. But someone infiltrated the graveyard of his prince. That was a woman in black with the one arm and leg as a mechanical instead of a human beings. That woman was Gayle. She was once a beautiful, kind-hearted woman with her little sister living in the village, teaching her hunting and just living happy lives. Sadly, their happy life was also destroyed as their village was under attack by Rion's father's army. As just like I told you, they were looting and destroying the villages. Gayle was one of the victims. She and her sister both were captured, and one day Gayle woke up in prison, seeing that her hairs are now white and her one arm and legs are replaced with mechanical parts. She was desperately worried about her sister, thinking that if those monsters did this to her, what could have become with her sister? She broke the prison and escaped, searching for her sister. In the destroyed village, she found a scream of a child. Thankfully, the victim was not her sister. Sadly, the killer was her sister. Yes, just like Gayle, her sister was also experimented on and she became a monster. Her brain was all gone and her hands were replaced with sharp tools like scissors. Gayle obviously had to kill her own sister to save her from the suffering that she is living in now. You can imagine how horrible this is, as she just one victim of Rion's father's brutality and crimes he did. After this, Gayle also left her country, her homeland, and started becoming a mercenary, a bounty type person. And that's how she one day met Dimos, who was protecting grave of some person. She realized the situation, what's going on, like she has become an infiltrator in this situation. So Dimos obviously tried to protect his prince's grave and his dignity. Gayle understood the situation, fought him, and respected both of their wishes. As Dimos was also suffering from poor condition as he had no maintenance, he also died. And Gayle, just like I told you, understanding the whole situation, gave farewell to both of their souls. Our next character is Akeha, a samurai, an assassin, a soloist in cage. She was part of an organization who raised her, a family type tradition where she was raised as an assassin killer for her lord of the land. Just like Tubi, you can say. She was strong, powerful, people always challenge her but she always win. My first favorite character of the game, by the way. Her life was sad and depressing as she had to maintain the dignity and pride of his lords and his family tradition, but she wanted to escape her killer life, which she couldn't as she was in the guilt of taking lives of others. And that is how her life reminds me of Tubi. As Akeha's uncle once tried to escape this life but he was killed and his head was decorated for display, and that is kind of same thing happened with Tubi, with she knowing that if she go against Yorha or abandon her post, she will only be hunted and killed one day. a soloist in cage. Akeha was one day tasked to kill a prince of a king, a lord, from a different country and land. She infiltrated the palace and found the boy. Sadly, she came to realize that the prince in front of her is none other but just an innocent girl, and she now had to kill her. But she didn't. She asked the girl, "Do you want to live?" She said yes. That's what I remember from the story. For the first time, Akeha decided not to kill, but to protect. As she fell in the enemy's lair and the trap, she decided that she will protect the girl. With her last breath, she killed every single man trying to do something right for the first time in her life. And that's how, with the fight, she died, and story end. Next character is Argo, a mountaineer who had passion for mountaineering, climbing all the deadliest places like challenge. It was his passion and his dedication. But sadly, because of that, he was ignoring his family, his only daughter and his wife. I mean, obviously, he's not a man of many women. Sorry. So he was ignoring his family because of that. But on the occasion of a very special day, he decided that he will return to his home. He had to travel a very harsh land, mountains, and he was doing that. In the snowy mountain, there was one heavy cliff that he had to cover. The climbing was like suicide, but he didn't care. He wanted to meet his family, so he took the risk in the night and tried to climb it, but he fell. But he didn't give up. He stood again and started climbing again, and finally reached his land, his home, and met with his wife and daughter. Happy ending. Yeah, that's what you think happening, but sadly it's not like that. The truth is, the first time he fell from the cliff, he died in that fall before he could realize his life is already ended. For the whole life, he was ignoring his daughter and his wife, and now he will never see his own family ever. His passion cost him this so much, and the regret will never fade away. Our next guest characters are a very good nice couple, 063Y and F66X. Yes, they are their names, and you will get it why soon. They lived in a very high advanced city, a land, you can say a country, place, I don't know, whatever. They had a son, and they were enjoying their lives. One day they were in a supermarket and saw their son wants a robot. They bought the robot for him. He was so happy to get the new toy. They were so much happy in their little world that they forgot that their real world is living in fear of a dangerous flower. A mysterious creature type thing that was killing and attacking their people, civilians, again and again. The flowers attacked on that day, and their son got killed. That was an ultimate loss and torture for them. They decided they want revenge, and because of that, they joined the special force organization that was fighting against the flowers. And that is how they got the name 063Y FF66X. You know the names. One day, they became the part of a very special operation that will decide the victory of their people and against the flowers, those mysterious creatures. They thought everything is going good. They will end this long-term battle with my flowers with this final mission. Just like Yorha thought they can end the war with machines with the final mission. That is the same thing happened here. With the unfortunate and defeat, F66X tried to save her husband, throwing him in the dark and dying herself like a sacrifice. The husband was now in more depression, as not only he lost his son but also his wife now. But he didn't give up. He wanted revenge and wanted to end this. He still wanted to fight, and thus he returned to the facility, the base, where he found his wife alive. He was completely surprised and cannot process the thing. No, neither his wife, because she didn't know anything. Like that is how they found that their organization, they themselves are just clones of real people. The real people who joined the force to have revenge of their children, they were already gone dead. They are nothing but clones because flowers already ended their people with fake memories of the real people who wanted revenge for their son. This was the path they chose for revenge, and this was the reality of this world. And this is how the story ends. Now the next story is again related to revenge, but this time the reverse order. At this time, there is a son who wants revenge of his father and mother. So this story is of a young boy who became a soldier. Name is Lars. In his childhood, he was a young and happy boy, and he had a very lovely mother and father, and he belonged to a rich family. Sadly, due to the conflict between two countries, a general of opposite party attacked his home and killed his mother and father. But the boy survived the situation by hiding in the closet in his room, and this is how his revenge arc started. He joined the force so that he can one day kill that man, that general who destroyed his family. He was so desperate for the revenge, and one day he had the opportunity as his battalion was about to attack the same battalion of the opposite party with the general he was always aiming for. But the war was not so easy, and military life is of course not. He thankfully had a very cheerful Captain Griffin who was always caring for the boy and knew that his vengeance will one day took his life. And so he wanted to protect the boy and take care of his comrades, his soldiers, his students. So because of that, he decided not to let Lars participate in the battalion, the mission that they are having against the opposite party. Which obviously didn't make Lars any comfortable. You know, young bloods nowadays don't listen to the adults. Lars refused his captain's orders and escaped the camp in night to infiltrate the nearby enemy territories, where he will obviously find the man, the general who destroyed his family. But Captain Griffin also didn't abandon the boy, as he was a kind-hearted teacher. His comrades were everything for him, and he wanted to protect them no matter what. On the other side, after so many obstacles and fatal wounds, Lars finally found the man who killed his family. He stabbed him for the death, but that was the moment when the man revealed that he is his real father, and he had been searching for him. The family he had were fake, and they stole him from somewhere, you can say like child trafficking. With that truth, the man died, and you can see this kind of situation. His hopes also died to live in this world. But Captain Griffin arrived and he took care of the boy. In this world of war and conflict, Captain still had hope, and he thought that it is his duty to take care of his soldiers, his students. They both were heavily wounded in the battlefield, and there was no hope for their survival. But Captain Griffin was still not giving up hope. He decided already that he will protect and save the boy. He will take him back. And that was the moment when the enemy soldiers arrived and attacked. It looked like this is the end, but the hope finally worked in this story at least, as Captain Griffin's other comrades arrived and saved the boy and the captain. And that's how at least this story has a happy ending, like you can say, as Captain Griffin finally saved the boy, and Lars also realized his mistake, that his teacher cared about him and there is still hope in this world. So yeah, this story was a happy ending. So this was the half of the characters of the NieR reincarnation. Tell me which of these stories touched your heart the most, as we will uncover more stories of more people in the next video. And hopefully that will be the end for this list, as I wanted to finish them all in just one video, but it is not possible. The pictures I used were my own collection of screenshots, which were not enough for this video, thus I used some more pictures from the data collection game guidebook of this game. And I hope that I was able to make you understand these stories and these characters at least. Because also my videos are never scripted, because I only do this for fun and for the love of my passion for NieR and Akeha. And so for all those who are still watching this video at this point, thank you very much for watching. I will see you again in another NieR Automata, Akeha Battle Angel, NieR Yukotaro game videos. And until then, farewell.